I call this the nipple protector. That way, some guy tries to come up, can't get your nipples.
I can't get it.
The next product in development is the slingshot push-up bra. Notice how there's a significant gain in the teat region.
William, as a professional nipple twister, how would you rate the protection on the new product?
It's probably a 9.5 out of 10.
What could be improved? What's the missing 0.5?
Essentially, if it was wider, I'd have less angles to get to it. Watch,
Wider
if I put
still.
it way up
Wider
here,
still.
I got a deadlift.
You're saying there's still room. There's still room to get in.
Well, with the size of his tits,
Right.
essentially you can get to him almost
It's
from
more how
any
spread
angle.
out the tits are.
It's true. It's true. It's the width, not the depth.
Development continues.
So determined to lift today, but first, let me take a break to get a Monster. Of what? This Monster energy drink that I'm about to drink that tastes so delicious?
Monster, clearly greatest energy drink of all time.
Fantastic. Yes! I told you I'd get that. This is Mark Bell from Super Training Gym. Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. Here I am ripping up some deadlifts. Mike and I have been doing these, Mike, myself, Schmokey, there I am doing some posing down. Just showing off my jacked and 10. And speaking of jacked and 10, what's the deal with this guy? Don't you hate when new guys come into your gym and they lift better than everybody else there? What is that guy's deal? That guy's name is Nsima. We've been working on his form and technique, and he's been able to really lock it in and come up with a much better position that he's able to maintain throughout the entire range of motion during his deadlift, and it's been great to see. And I think you guys are going to see some big things from him. He's a natty BB, natural bodybuilder, competes in natural bodybuilding, and now he's doing some powerlifting. So it'll be interesting to see the kind of numbers somebody like that can put up when they come in to the sport with such a great base as he already has. He's probably about 6'1" or 6 foot or so, and he's probably a good 260 pounds, 255 pounds, somewhere in that range. It'll be interesting. We got a monster fridge in the gym, as you can see there. And there is Callie, Cookie Callie, banging out them squats. But Mike, myself, Little Smokey, and Fat Daniel have all been following a similar plan. I've just been kind of riding with Mike, doing whatever he's doing, and we've just been doing a lot of sets, many sets, and many reps of deadlifting. Here I'm doing a set of 3, and over this last several weeks, I've been doing these sets of 3 for sets of all the way up to about 8 or 9 sets, and although it's been difficult to get through, the weights are manageable enough to still make it through all your reps. The whole principle behind it, what you're really trying to do is you're trying to have your first rep of your first set look like the last rep of your last set. So in this case, 8 times 3 would be 24. How's that for some quick math, you motherfuckers? 8 sets of 3 is 24 total repetitions, and you're trying to have your 24th rep look a lot similar to your first rep. And so that is kind of the goal and the intent of the day. The intent of the day is not to get all fired up and play some crazy music, smack yourself on the head and only be good for 1 or 2 sets and then blow yourself out, blow out your central nervous system, the good old CNS that everybody likes to talk about. That's not the intent at all on this day. What we're trying to do is actually trying to remain much calmer, even in some cases taking away some pre-workout, only using it kind of as needed. Now a lot of times I just throw back like a Monster energy drink. I think sometimes in Mike's training, he even goes as far to not even have any of that in his training for a period of time, so that when he needs it, when you need the psych up, when you need the external energy from headphones, or you need some sort of external thing to motivate and fire you up, those things are somewhat short-lived, and they don't actually always help improve your lifting. So we like to try to use those things sparingly. Mike has been doing that for a little while now. It's a principle that a lot of Russian lifters have utilized for a long time. You're trying to train calm. You're trying to, lift like you've done it before. I'm not sure what Nsima's doing there with the crazy eyes, looking like Mike Singletary back in the day. Some of the older guys might know what I'm talking about. The Chicago Bears linebacker, number 50, Mike Singletary, used to have those crazy eyes. Also coached the San Francisco 49ers for a while. But, you got to keep in mind that everything that you do, nice boner, Callie, everything that you do calculates in your body as stress, nearly every single thing that you do. So you get yourself hyped up and you start acting all crazy. That takes a toll on your body in some regards. So everything that you do has to be calculated. You have to realize that nearly everything that you're doing is something that can not only just add to your lift, but can also take away from your lift over a period of time. If you're getting yourself psyched up and going out of your mind on every single set, I think you guys can all agree and all understand that if you're going out of your mind for every set, even from your warm-ups, that eventually you're going to burn yourself out as you get to your top set. And in most cases, you're not going to be as strong as you should have been on that particular day, because you wasted a lot of energy on those earlier sets. So anyway, what we're trying to do, I guess, basically you can kind of sum it up as slow and steady kind of wins the race type of deal. This is week number 3 for me. I think the weight selected for this particular day is 525 pounds. The week before that, we used, week 1 we used about 495. Then I think we went to about 505, and then we ended up with about 525 on this day. Some numbers like that. Maybe I'm a little bit off. Maybe it went 485 to 505, and then to this 525. That might be more like it. It's hard to remember all the way back there. You can see Fat Dan ripping those weights off the ground. Good form, always good speed from the bottom. And look at those nipples. Chalked them up a little bit. Try to get a little bit more grip out of my nippies. Fat Dan is very explosive out of the bottom of the lift, that sometimes has a little trouble locking the weights out. So it's going to be something that he's going to have to really focus in on. What I would suggest to many of you, a lot of guys will ask me, what's the best assistance exercise for positioning? What's the best assistance exercise to help keep your back flat? What's the best assistance exercise to work your lockout? The answer is always going to be the same, or at least it's always going to be the same for me. The answer is to continue over a period of time to work on lifting better and not always necessarily just lifting more. You can see the position I'm getting in, which is not a great position. I'm starting to get slightly tilted over. So what's going to be my limiting factor? My limiting factor is going to be the fact that I'm not really doing that great a job of getting my legs into the lift. So my limiting factor is going to ultimately be the strength of my back, which is actually kind of a strength of mine in the deadlift, but because my form is not great, I'm not able to maintain a position that's favorable throughout the entire range of motion, which is what powerlifting is all about. As you can see Nsima here, showing us how it looks to do the lift efficiently. He's doing the same amount of weight I was just doing, the same amount of weight everybody else is doing, and he's doing it with no belt, and it looks like he could do like 20 reps if he really had to. It's because I know he's cheating with the sumo. You guys don't have to comment for me. Whoa, look at these guys busting the move. I'm just adding in sound effects, I don't know why. And music. Those guys are going nuts. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I don't know what's going on. My team loses its mind sometime. What we're trying to do at Super Training Gym is we're trying to build an environment that is big enough, large enough, and fucking fun enough that you can never leave it. That when you try to leave it, you try to go outside of it, you realize it was a mistake, because what we have inside this gym is special. We're always having fun. There's Stone Cold. We're always having fun. You know, we are training hard. We are working hard. We all have our goals. We're all working for those gains. For myself, I'm probably going to compete sometime. Whoa. Hey now, what's Smokey doing? Jeez. I'm working towards a meet probably in November of next year where I plan to break that 600-pound bench. You guys can follow along on my YouTubes here as you're watching. I'm going to be, going for that 600-pound bench again. Silent Mike has a goal to do a 6'11" squat in just a pair of knee sleeves. Fat Dan has the goal of not being so fat anymore. So each one of us has a certain set of goals. For me, when I go and try to do that 600-pound bench, I'm planning on really filling out the 275-pound weight class. Last time I did weigh in at 273 for the contest, or 271 or something like that. But I didn't weigh enough for long enough. I also got hurt midway through the training, so I thought I'm really, really excited just to prove to myself what I can do when I put all of my effort into it, when I put everything I got into it. I'm really excited to see what I can come up with. Strength is never weakness, and that is it from Super Training Gym. Later.
Thanks for watching the last video, guys. If you want more content, be sure to subscribe, like, share it. Leave your comments below on what you thought. If you want to see more content from the strongest gym in the West, be sure to click up here. And if you guys want the best gear in the powerlifting game, all the strength sports, Slingshot, right over here.